You don't need a bigger budget to win. You need better timing, smarter targeting, and the guts to show up where your competitors aren't looking. Now, in today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on how small businesses, yes, businesses like yours, are using AI not just to survive, but to ethically steal customers from bigger but slower brands. Hello, and welcome back, my brilliant entrepreneurs and disruptors. I'm Kim, your host of Small Business Big AI, the podcast where we don't just talk tech, we talk transformation. Now, every week, we explore how AI is rewriting the rules for small businesses like yours and helping you become the kind of technology-enabled superpower your competitors never saw coming. And if you've been here before, you know I've got my co-host, husband, and number one business strategist, Hal, in the studio with me.
Hey everyone, and listen, today's topic is spicy but smart. And we're not just talking theory here. We're using the exact playbook ourselves.
Yep, Hal and I are opening another business in Florida, and we are walking the talk. So this episode is part strategy session and part story in the making. So we'll show you how small businesses are quietly stealing customers by outthinking, not outspending the competition. So if you're a coach, a contractor, a boutique owner, or maybe a B2B consultant, what we're going to share today is your blueprint to compete with brands 10x your size without spending 10x the dollars. Now, let me be clear. We're not talking about gaming the system, okay? We're talking about beating it by using AI to uncover your competitors' blind spots and then turning those weaknesses into your biggest opportunity.
And if that sounds like something only the big guys do, think again. Because today, small businesses that act fast, learn faster, and market smarter are the ones that win.
All right, let's get into it. Time for one of my favorite segments, Coffee Table Conversations with Kim and Hal. Now, you know it. This is where we give you the real talk about game-changing strategies that help you dominate the market. Now, you just heard us talk about something that might sound a little provocative, using AI to steal your competitors' customers. And look, let's be real. In a market that feels more crowded and noisy by the day, where customer loyalty, really seems thinner than ever, and where simply running generic ads feels like you're throwing money into a black hole and just sitting back and hoping your customers find you, well, that isn't a strategy. It's a prayer. So Hal, I want to kick this segment off with something you said over breakfast yesterday. You were pouring your OJ and scrolling your phone as usual, and you casually dropped the statement, marketing is just sales with better timing.
That's right. Because when you strip out the noise, that's what wins the deal. Being in the right place with the right message at the right moment. You can't sell to anyone who's not listening.
Okay, but here's where I'm going to push back. Timing matters, yes, but who you show up as when that moment hits, well, that's where AI flips the game. It's not just about being early. It's about being smarter, faster, and more relevant than the brand next to you.
I won't argue that, but most small business owners still think, if I want more leads, I need to spend more on ads. That's the old formula. Awareness equals dollars.
And that's exactly why they're bleeding cash, especially now in this time of economic uncertainty. I mean, basic Google, LinkedIn, Facebook ads, they don't give the small business owner the ROI, the big bang for the buck impact.
It's simple economics and attention span, Kim. The digital world is packed. Ad costs have shot up because everyone's fighting for the same attention. Everyone's competing for the same keywords, the same eyeballs. Customers are picky and getting bombarded with generic ads, and it's all the same. Just blasting your message everywhere. It's expensive and barely works. Like hitting only 1% of people who might care while annoying the other 99%. To compete today, especially as small businesses, you have to be precise and relevant if you want to stand out.
True, but guess what? AI gives you a way around the gatekeepers. Now, you don't have to outspin your competitor. You just have to out-listen them. And AI, it listens at scale.
Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, we've been testing this out on our new business, running competitor reviews through various AI channels like Claude, Gemini, Manus, and also using ChatGPT to rewrite ad copy based on actual pain points people are venting online.
Oh, exactly. And the results, well, they're wild. Like take the top three agencies in our market. Now, I fed their Google reviews into AI, and then I asked it to summarize the biggest complaints. And boom, three golden insights in just under 30 seconds. Now, how one was about their clunky website, and then another, it was that agents, they never follow up. And the third, hey, get this, no real advice, just generic sales scripts.
So instead of leading with, we got great rates, we're now building messaging around real advice, real humans, real follow through, because that's what the market actually wants, what the competition forgot to deliver.
And if truth be told, you're not really a traditional sales script kind of guy anyway.
Nope, I like helping people win by listening, not reading some old school cue cards that don't give them what they want.
And that's the shift right there. So with AI, small business owners can stop playing defense. They can stop begging for attention with boring ads. And instead, they get to be proactive, precise, and personal. So if you want to stand out, well, start listening louder than your competitors ever have.
Give them what they want and start solving problems they didn't even see coming.
So here's a little secret. Your competitors aren't unbeatable. They're pretty much predictable. And with the right AI tools, you can see exactly what they're doing and then do it smarter. Coming up next, we're giving you a strategic framework for doing this ethically and effectively, proving that you don't need a Fortune 500 budget to outsmart the competition. Ready to unlock the power of AI for your small business? Well, don't just listen. Become a small business big AI insider. Subscribe and get ready to dominate. All right, Hal, let's take all that heat from the coffee table and channel it into something real. Because most small business owners out there, they don't have a marketing problem. They have a visibility crisis. Now, if you're listening right now and your best lead gen strategy is still, boost a Facebook post and hope for the best, or let's try Google Ads again because we don't know what else to do, well, you're not alone. But you are on the edge of burning cash and losing ground.
Okay, but hold up. AI? No AI? Most folks listening have already been overwhelmed. They've tried stuff. It didn't work. Now you're telling them they need another framework? That might just sound like more homework.
You're right. It can sound like that. But Hal, this isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually moves the needle with less effort, more clarity, and really way better results. So let me show you something simple, powerful, and built for how AI thinks. Now, it's called the visibility triangle. And really, it's the antidote to being invisible in a market full of megaphones.
Okay, sounds fancy, but does it actually work?
Oh, it works, Mr. Strategy. We've tested it with a couple of our clients lately. Three sides, one clear path to market domination. Now, the three sides are number one, watch, and that's to see what the markets can't. And then number two, differentiate. Say what your competitors won't. And side three is deliver. Show up where they're too slow to go. Think of it like a triangle with a spotlight at the top. So watch is your radar, and differentiate, well, is your voice, and deliver, well, that's your megaphone. And AI is the electricity that powers the entire thing.
Okay, you've piqued my attention. Now I'm listening. Break it down for us.
All right. Well, let's start with the first side of the triangle, which is watch. Now, this is your intelligence layer. It's where you stop guessing and start spying. Now, legally, of course.
So this is where AI becomes your little undercover agent?
Exactly. Now, you use AI to quietly gather the kind of market intel that your competitors would never, ever hand you on purpose. Now, here's what I want you to do: feed your competitors' websites, Google reviews, blog posts, even their ads into, let's say, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whichever tool you prefer. Then ask questions like, what are the most common complaints in these reviews? Or what customer pain points are being ignored? And what tone is this brand using? And what emotions is it failing to tap into?
We did this for another business. A client, remember? It was wild. The biggest complaint wasn't even price. It was about ghosting, agents not calling people back, zero follow through.
Yeah, and guess what? No Google ad dashboard was going to tell us that. But AI, it spotted the emotional cracks in less than 30 seconds. Now that is watch. You uncover what your competitors don't even realize they're getting wrong. Which leads us to side two of the triangle, and that's differentiate. Now, if your competitors are out here screaming lowest rates like a broken record, but the reviews reveal people are craving trust, transparency, and real help, you don't just whisper a slightly nicer version of the same thing. You say something radically different and emotionally honest.
So if they're talking dollars, you talk humans. And if they're pushing product, you push peace of mind.
Exactly how. And here's where AI helps again. Take your rough headlines or sales pitch and ask, rewrite this to focus on emotional trust and customer service instead of price. Or ask the AI, how can I speak directly to a homeowner in Florida who feels overwhelmed and ignored?
And the cool part? You don't have to guess what will land. You test it. Emails, social posts, even text message copy. Let the data be your guide and the story.
So when you differentiate strategically, you don't just get seen, you get remembered. Now, the third and final side of the triangle is deliver, because even the best messages die in the wrong delivery format. And most small business owners, well, they're either posting random stuff on the wrong channels, or worse, they're not showing up at all because they're stuck.
This is the where and the how, right?
Exactly. So this is where AI acts like your media strategist. So you ask or prompted things like, what's the best way to reach renters in South Florida who've recently moved? Or you could say something like, what content formats convert best for auto insurance and short form video? Or even ask the AI to draft 3 Instagram reels in under 30 seconds, explaining flood insurance with clarity and confidence.
So suddenly you're not just guessing, you've got content plan built around actual behavior and data.
And you don't need a team of 10 to do it, because AI is your strategist, it's your copywriter, it's your research assistant, and it's your creative director. All you have to do is prompt and adapt.
So to recap, watch what the market is really saying. Differentiate by delivering what the competitors want. And deliver in a way where it meets the people where they actually are.
And boom, the visibility triangle. Not a funnel, not a gimmick, a clarity machine. And when you combine that with AI, you stop being invisible and start becoming inevitable. Now, up next, I'm chatting with my little AI friend and tackling a hot, potentially controversial AI tool head on, evaluating if it's a game changer or a lawsuit waiting to happen, especially if you're in a highly regulated industry like, say, insurance. Join our growing community of small business owners who are using AI to transform their businesses. Subscribe and be part of the conversation. Okay, so far we've been talking about how AI can help you outmaneuver your competition using a simple but strategic framework, the visibility triangle. 3 sides focusing on one clear path to market domination. So watch what the market is really saying, differentiate by delivering what your competitors want, and deliver in a way that meets people where they actually are.
Give them what they want.
Right. Give them what they want. But now, let's talk about a tool that's gotten a little too hot lately. I mean, something I see being pushed all over YouTube and Facebook ads, startup forums. It's this AI powered cold calling bot. That's right, an automated voice assistant that dials up leads, delivers a pitch, qualifies them, and hands over the warm ones.
I've seen these. They're being marketed like the holy grail of lead generation. Close clients while you sleep. Scale your outreach to $10,000 per day without hiring anyone.
Yeah, and maybe also get sued into oblivion before lunch. So let's explore this with a little help from our AI assistant. Now, I want to ask it about the potential here. So, AI assistant, what is the potential of using AI bots for initial customer outreach and cold calling at scale.
Utilizing advanced artificial intelligence for initial customer outreach presents significant potential. AI bots can initiate contact with a high volume of leads simultaneously, operating 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. They can qualify prospects based on predefined criteria, gather initial information efficiently, and transfer high potential leads to human sales representatives. This process significantly increases reach, reduces manual effort, and can lower the cost per initial contact. The potential for scalable, automated outreach is substantial for businesses seeking rapid lead generation.
Now, I get the appeal. You're overwhelmed. You don't want to cold call, and you don't have time to chase leads. So, the promise of an AI robot that works 24/7 and never complains and books appointments in your sleep, well, that sounds like a dream. But for a lot of small businesses, especially if you're in a regulated industry like insurance, finance, or healthcare, it's a lawsuit dressed up like a productivity hack. So let's be clear. When you have an AI voice bot making outbound sales calls without human supervision, here's what's actually at stake. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act, better known as TCPA compliance violations, or state by state robocall restrictions, or data privacy violations, or misrepresentation of financial products, and my personal favorite, losing your business license because an AI didn't read a disclosure properly.
But hey, at least it saved you a few hours of sales time before the cease and desist letter showed up.
Exactly. Now, can you have AI for outreach support? Well, absolutely. Use it to write compliant, cold emails, or to analyze past sales call, or to train your team with smarter objection handling scripts. But letting AI handle the full front end pitch over the phone, that's like handing your keys to a robot that's never driven and telling it to figure out traffic laws along the way. So here's the smarter path. Let AI make you better, not legally reckless. So use it to spot trends in customer feedback or draft personalized follow up messages. Maybe segment your list so humans can call with context and build pre call assets, like scripts or checklists or FAQs that actually convert.
Because when you're trying to build trust, especially in the insurance and financial services, nothing beats a real human voice that can listen, adapt, and respond in the moment.
Exactly. And that's what your customers deserve. That's what your brand needs. And that's how you use AI intelligently, not recklessly. So here's what this episode is really about. It's not about quote unquote stealing. It's about finally getting seen. It's about finally getting heard. It's about building a business that shows up with clarity, courage, and precision in a world that unfortunately rewards noise over value. So using AI to steal your competitors' customers legally is about becoming so useful, so relevant, and so consistent that your business is no longer invisible. You become inevitable. Because in 2025, the old game of throw money at ads and hope it works, well, it's crumbling. The smart small businesses, the ones I call technology enabled superpowers, they're doing things different. They're using AI to outlisten, outlearn, and outmaneuver their bigger, louder competition. So, if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, posting, advertising, trying to build awareness, and yet still somehow getting ignored, this is your line in the sand because the businesses winning aren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones who listen better, move faster, and show up differently.
They're not simply reacting to the market. They're not throwing money at ads and hoping something sticks. They're studying the market, finding the cracks, and sliding in where the competition isn't even looking.
And they're using AI not as a gimmick, but as a GPS, a truth teller, a strategy engine. That's the unlock. They're not chasing customers. They're earning attention by being smarter, bolder, and more relevant. And now, so can you.
Not by copying what others are doing. You're spotting what they're missing. You're doing it not with a 10-person team, but a single assistant in your back pocket that never sleeps, never scrolls TikTok, and never misses a pattern.
So the playing field has tilted. And if you're a small business owner listening right now, you're perfectly positioned because the ones who move next are the ones who win next. Now, here's your next step, because listening without action is just another form of hiding. So, number one, go grab the reviews of your top 3 competitors. Number 2, paste them into ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, whatever you prefer, and then use this prompt. What are the recurring complaints or unmet expectations in these reviews? And then number 3, take one of those blind spots and turn it into a message or an offer or a piece of content that directly speaks to that pain.
You'll be shocked at how fast it turns into results. Because the best ideas aren't hiding in your head, they're hiding in plain sight. Inside the frustrations your competitors aren't solving.
And this is how you go from being invisible to being inevitable. Now that's it for today's episode of Small Business Big AI. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep embracing change, keep innovating, and remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think. And the small, courageous steps you take today, well, they're shaping the legacy you'll leave tomorrow. Now, I'm Kim.
And I'm Hal.
And this has been Small Business Big AI. Thanks for listening. And hey, go steal those customers legally, ethically, and a whole lot smarter.